So I just gotta say I love Ana. I absolutely love her. I love her character. I love her hero kit. I love her voice actor. Everything about Ana I absolutely love. I needed to start the video off by saying that because there's gonna be some people that think by making this video I'm attacking Ana, or think that I hate Ana, or that I'm comparing her to Hanzo. Nobody can be more BS than Hanzo, but only 90s kids will remember Scatter Arrow. But we're not here to talk about that, Sniper. We're here to talk about our favorite grandma Ana, because in all honesty, I truly do mean it when I say I love her. I mean, how cooler can you get when making a hero than a sniper grandma who lost an eye in battle but did not quit and is still in battle with an eye patch thingy. That is the coolest thing ever. However, in-game, there's a different story. I really don't know how to describe it. Okay, I'll let my boy Donkey describe Ana. Ana
is old and sucks balls.
Yeah, Ana's just not the greatest healer right now. And that's why I'm making this video, because Ana needs a buff. Like a long time ago, I made a video talking about some heroes that needed a buff, Mei being one of them and Ana being one of them. And Mei obviously got her buff, but Ana is still, after like, I want to say a year of just not receiving any love, is probably at the bottom of the barrel of healers, even with Brigitte being added, because a long time ago I shared with you this little chart of all the healers when it came to the heals that they give and the damage that they give. Look at Ana. Look at our favorite girl, Ana, at the very bottom. She is getting out-healed by a majority of healers, except for Zenyatta. But Zenyatta has more damage than heals for Ana. It's just a big old mess, and statistics never lie. And that's why I brought that chart back, just to show you guys. Like, I'm not being biased whenever it comes to Ana. It's truly shown in the statistics that when compared to other healers, she's not capable of doing her job, whether it is being a healer or whether it is being a damage-dealing hero. Now, don't get me wrong, alright? There's some Ana mains out there like Fran plays Halo and Karki that make Ana look like a freaking god healer and makes Mercy's heal look like Soldier's heals. But for a majority of us, we're not in the top 1 of the top 1 of the top 1% of Ana players. And that's what makes Ana such like an unpleasant hero to play and just not a really viable hero to play. And for the rest of this video, I did want to talk about some ideas and things that are wrong with Ana that could easily be fixed with an up-and-coming patch. Because like I mentioned before, she's an okay healer, an okay damage dealer, but she's spread thin to the point where it's like, well, why not have an amazing healer that sucks at damage and an awesome damage dealing healer that's not the greatest with heals? And usually that's either like a Moira or a Zen. So that's why Ana, as a primary healer, it's like, well, why not just play a Moira? So that's like the first step when fixing Ana. This is the one thing I've been pleading and just asking for with Ana, is just give her more heals with a single fire. It is so simple, because the way that stands right now, she gives 75 heals every single time you heal someone. There's a problem with that, though. It sounds good on paper. 75 heals every single shot, that's really quick heals. You have to be accurate with your shots. Now, this is our fault as players for not being able to be good with Ana, because there was also a console buff for Ana that made it a little bit easier to shoot your teammates, but still, after that buff, it's still the fact that you're still missing a lot of your shots. So now, what does she need as a buff? Well, she's a primary healer. She's competing for the spot with Mercy and Moira, and she's losing by a mile. And that's because 75 heals, and let's say you're missing half of your shots, you're not getting a lot of heals with these healers that don't have to be accurate with their heals, a Mercy or a Moira. Now, real quick, I did want to mention that I know there is a buff to Ana on the PTR that actually does allow her to shoot through the target that's already topped off, like say a 200 HP Soldier 76 is actually going to go towards the enemy or your own teammate to actually start doing damage or heals. The problem with that, though, is that that's not necessarily being accurate with your heals or deciding, hey, I want to heal this person. You're just kind of getting lucky by it shooting through. It does help a little bit, but that still doesn't stray away from the fact that, hey, do you want to replace a Moira or a Mercy with the Ana? Not necessarily, because Ana doesn't heal as much as those other healers. So what's a unique buff other than just like 100 HP flat per shot? Because that was my original idea, but then I thought of something. What if the people that are actually good with Ana was actually rewarded for being accurate with their shots over time? What I'm getting at is like a charge heal every single shot that you make. Think of it like Symmetra's primary form of fire, where over time it gives you more DPS the more time you're connecting with the enemy team. Now take that same idea and apply it to Ana's heals with her teammates, and it's going to be rewarding the people that are actually accurate, because let's say the very first shot is going to do like 80 HP and it's in increments of 40 HP. 80 HP first shot, you make it, okay, you make the second shot, it gives you 120 HP. You make the third shot, it gives gives you 160 HP. You miss the 4th shot, now it's back to 80 HP whenever you make that next shot. This means people are going to have to be accurate and good and smart with who they're wanting to heal and who they want to try to connect with. It's something that the numbers have to be tweaked around a little bit, and some might even say it's broken because, well, you're assuming that you're going to make every single shot. It's impossible unless you have an aimbot for your teammates to make every single shot with Ana. And that's why I always say I'm going to be generous, like maybe you make 50% of the shots if you're shooting not only tanks but also squishy heroes. So that means that you're not really going to be getting that 160 HP shot every single chance you get, and plus you have to make 3 of the shots in a row. The reason why I think this is a semi-good idea is because, remember, she's a primary healer, but she's a very high skill gapped hero to the point where people that are really good, the Fran plays Halos and the card queues, are gonna make Ana work, but can still like be more viable if they play a Mercy or Moira, and people that aren't good with her, say me or maybe mainly everybody else that plays Overwatch, aren't gonna see great success, but it's gonna take practice, and that practice will get rewarded by giving you more heals to the team and more sustainability. And to make her primary form of fire just a little bit more balanced, because some people might bring up the arguments like, okay, well, why wouldn't you just shoot 3 shots into a Fatal Roadhog and save that 4th shot, which is going to be like 200 HP, and instantly bring up the Genji or the Soldier in McCree? Well, let's say like once you do top off a hero, like say like a Soldier 76, you shoot 2 shots and you instantly bring them back up to 200, because the way that I have it, 80 HP, and then you make the 2nd shot 120 HP, that's 200, you top it off, now it gets reset, so that you can't just shoot a bunch of tanks, save that next shot for your DPS, instantly bring them back up, and continue firing into tanks. That's called cheesing the system. Even though it is in the game and you're allowed to do it, it's just making her more broken, which is not what we want. We want to make her more balanced, because you look at the cons with Ana and you look at the pros, and they're just outweighed with so many cons. She's slow, she has no health regeneration except for a bio splash grenade onto her, she has no protection, so vulnerable, and she takes a lot of communication for her to work. Whereas the pros, well, first of all, her primary role as a primary healer is not a pro. She doesn't give a lot of heals, and she doesn't get a lot of damage because she's so inaccurate. She has a sleep dart, which, again, you have to be accurate, and some bozo usually just wakes someone up whoever you sleep. And her bio grenade is very good because no one else can do that in the game, anti the enemy team. And now you're going to be able to have a lot more heals over time if you're accurate. That's going to outweigh a lot of the cons that she has, which is what she needs. But let me know what you think, because, you know, I love Ana, and I want her to just be a viable healer, but as it stands right now, she just really isn't. So anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.